going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. In this video, I want to talk a little bit more about Arnold Schwarzenegger's decision to raise the prize money for men's open bodybuilding at the Arnold Classic in 2025 for $500,000 for the first place prize. Now, we got a little bit more information about this today at the Sunday seminar, where Arnold kind of explained his reasoning for why he's doing this, what motivated him to do it, what allowed him to do it, and kind of his rationale behind it. But I do think this is a very significant story that I think might get swept a little bit under the radar because of all the exciting stuff that happened at the actual competition this weekend. But I think it's a really big one because it's worth pointing out that that would make the Arnold Classic the #1 biggest bodybuilding show in terms of prize money of all time. There's never been a bodybuilding show that paid $500,000 to just one first-place champion. And that includes the Olympia, which I feel is a pretty significant part of this equation. The Olympia pays $400,000. They've been paying that for a few years now. Prior to that, it was like $300,000. And the Arnold, it's worth pointing out, just beat that by $100,000. And they had already been paying the Classic guys at the Arnold Classic, I believe, $10,000 more than they get paid at the Olympia for a couple of years now. So Arnold is kind of laying down the gauntlet here. And I think it's significant because I think there's this saying, all ships float in a rising tide. And I think what Arnold explains that he's trying to do here is put pressure on the Olympia to raise their prize money as well, because the important thing that he's trying to make happen here is that bodybuilders get paid better. And this has been a topic of conversation over the last couple months with the announcement there's going to be an additional $220,000 for the IFBB to spread out for the men's open prize money, to increase the men's open first place prize money across the board. And you're seeing these new shows pop up like the Dubai Pro that now has men's open bodybuilding, and they're going to be paying $100,000 for first place. We saw the New York Pro raise their prize money significantly, plus they're giving out a $5,000 ring. And I think a topic for a while has been that bodybuilders don't get paid enough. And that's why you see some of the shows during the course of the competitive season that maybe don't have the deepest lineups, maybe have, 5 or 6 guys show up and they're not really big name guys because they're only paying $10,000 for first. And for most of the bigger name bodybuilders, that doesn't even cover the cost of their prep. And it's also worth mentioning that the Arnold Classic just increased their prize money last year to $300,000, which was one of the biggest stories in bodybuilding of the year because that was a significant increase, and it was the increase that really got Nick Walker to come jump in that lineup at the last minute because it was such a significant amount of prize money. And up until that point, I think it had been $200 for a couple of years, or around $200 for a few years. But for a very long time at the Arnold, it was about $100,000, give or take, for first place for maybe over 10 years. So just in the last few years, they've 5x'd what their prize money had been for a long time. And I've been going to the Arnold this year was my 15th Arnold Classic. I've been going since 2008. And I've only missed one, and I only missed it because my best friend's wedding was on the exact same day. But most of that time that I had been going, the prize money for first was about $100,000, and granted, Arnold always threw in other things, especially in those earlier days, like the Hummers. There were watches. There was like additional prizes to be had besides just the money. But let me play for you guys these clips from Arnold where he talks about raising the prize money, and then the Sunday seminar where he explains why.
Here, and I have one more good news, and that is, this year, the winning prize is $300,000 for the winning. But next year, as you know, the winning prize for the Olympia is $400,000, and I don't feel obliged anymore with the rules. So we're going to go up to $500,000 for the winner next year for the Arnold Classic. Exactly. Absolutely. My pleasure.
Can't wait to come back.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You will be back. Okay, you will be back. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you all. Congratulations. It has, this weekend was the most successful Arnold Classic weekend ever. We've had the most crowd. We had the best bodybuilder lineups and then the whole thing. I mean, the most sponsorship money. And this is why, when I saw this success, I said to myself, that's why I said yesterday we're going to up the cash prize, because we can afford it now, even though we still have to make millions of dollars back that we lost during the COVID. But still, we can see the direction that we are going now, and that we can up the cash prizes, because the whole idea is to share this money. And so we're going to go and move it up to $500,000, the cash prize for the winner. And then, of course, all the other cash prizes are going to go up right behind that. And, you know, because for years we kept the money below, because that's what I promised Joe and Ben Weider, that I would not compete with the Olympia. But, you know, now they have passed on, and I know that Joe is, and Ben is smiling down from heaven to see how successful we are. And they would want me to go and put a little bit of pressure on the Olympia and say, okay, we're gonna give 500, so maybe you now go to 600. You know, so this is the idea, is to create competition, not for us to be number one, but just to move on and to really pressure the Olympia also to go up with the cash prizes. And so hopefully they listen to that, and they will do that. And so for us, it's all about producing the best show and to make it really entertaining for everyone to watch.
Arnold's still the competitor after all these years, right? And so it never leaves you. You got the competitive spirit.
So as you heard in that clip, Arnold said this was the most successful Arnold Classic in history. And he's also talking about financially. So because of that, they have the extra money to spread out. And he also says it's not just going to be for men's open bodybuilding. That money is going to hit the other divisions as well. And I heard that Classic Physique might also get a significant bump. But I think it's also impressive to consider the fact that not only is the Arnold raising the prize money from $300,000 to $500,000, but they're doing that the same year they kind of really broke new ground in offering a free live stream. And I haven't seen very many complaints about the live stream. It was a very high quality live stream, and it was free compared to, I mean, the Olympia last year was what, $80 per stream? So not only did the Arnold give the bodybuilders more money, but they did it the same year that they gave the fans a free live stream, and they weren't making money from fans buying the live stream. I think that's an impressive combo when you really think about the gravity of that decision. And you can tell that Arnold wants his legacy to be, he was a guy that was an ambassador for bodybuilding. He cared about the fans, and he cared about the bodybuilders. He wants the bodybuilders to get paid more, and he wants the fans to have the best experience possible. That's why the live stream was free. He wants the whole world to be able to enjoy watching one of the greatest bodybuilding shows there is. And he talks about in that Sunday seminar clip how when he started the Arnold Classic, he had an agreement with his mentor, Joe Weider, that he would never surpass the Olympia in terms of prize money, which is also why he gave out things like those Hummers and the watches that he gave out, because while they kept the prize money below the Olympia prize money, they still wanted to make it a really worthwhile experience for the winner. So they would add these things like a Hummer or, you know, a really crazy expensive watch, stuff like that to really compensate the winner fairly. But a lot has changed in the past few years. Joe and Ben Weider are both gone. Rest in peace. The Lorimers, who Arnold started the Arnold Classic with back in the early 80s, they're no longer partners with the Arnold Classic. Jim Lorimer, unfortunately, also passed away. And now Arnold has a new team that he's partnered with in running the show. And now the Olympia has new ownership. They've got new people running the show that are no longer the Weiders. So Arnold kind of opened the floodgates with his announcement that he no longer, I believe his phrasing was, he no longer felt obliged to follow the rules. And when he said that, he was referencing that he would never try to surpass the Olympia. And now he's doing that by $100,000, and he's doing it in terms of the live stream. I think even if he hadn't raised the prize money, I think the fact that he offered a free live stream and he's giving the first place winner $300,000 is significant enough. But now he's doing both. And he also said in the Sunday seminar that one of the reasons that he did this was he wants to put pressure on the Olympia to raise their prize money because he thinks that the bodybuilders should be paid more. They should be compensated more. And he hopes that him raising his prize money will make them do the same. And hopefully that could also apply to the live stream. Hopefully the Olympia looks at, well, the Arnold did a free live stream, maybe we should too. Well, the Arnold raised their prize money, maybe we should too. And Arnold seems like a very competitive guy. So now he's competing with the Olympia. So the question that I have for you guys is, do you think it's possible for the Arnold Classic to surpass the Olympia as being the modern day most prestigious title in bodybuilding? Obviously, the Olympia has been around longer. The Olympia has more history. The Olympia has all the divisions, and most of the IFBB Pro shows are qualifiers for the Olympia. The whole system is structured to get to the Olympia. So there's all these things working, obviously, in the Olympia's favor. But the Arnold Classic has this unique position where they're an invitational. They only invite the athletes that they think are the best in the world. They only have the divisions that they think the fans want to see the most. So they don't necessarily need a qualification system. And the other thing, too, one of the arguments that I saw against the Arnold being able to be the most prestigious competition, I saw someone say, well, the Olympia is what launched Arnold's career. So in theory, he could never become bigger than the Olympia because the Olympia is what made his bodybuilding career. But I saw an interesting counter to that argument, and I thought this was a very good point. Someone said, that's true, Arnold got started at the Olympia. That's what launched his bodybuilding career. But if you think about the world outside of the bodybuilding fan base, the people who don't know anything about bodybuilding, but they know who Arnold is, they only know the name Mr. Olympia because they know that Arnold won it. So on the other side of that coin, Arnold made the Olympia famous. The Olympia is known for being the show that launched Arnold Schwarzenegger. So, like I said, while the Olympia has more history, it had the Weider name attached to it. In the modern era of bodybuilding, could it be replaced as the #1 show now that it has new ownership? Now that the Weiders are gone? Now that Arnold is making these really, honestly, massive strides that we're not seeing from any other shows. The things that I don't want to glaze him too much here, but the things that he's doing, like with the free live stream and increasing the prize money for first place by hundreds of thousands of dollars per year, $100,000 last year, now another $200,000 on top of that for next year. There's no other bodybuilding shows that are doing anything on that scale. And then some people might say, well, the Olympia has a higher level, a higher caliber of competition. But I would say to that, if the Arnold is paying more than the Olympia, then I don't know why whoever wins the Olympia in 2024, if they're the best bodybuilder in the world, which is what the Olympia title is, then why would you not go a couple months later and compete at the Arnold if you're the best bodybuilder in the world and then win more money than you would win at the Olympia? $500,000 is big for a pro bodybuilder. That's not sponsorship money. That's not commission. That's not a clothing brand deal. That's prize money. Think about how many pro bodybuilders per year that are big name guys, relatively big names, that in the past they were building that big name on winning, whatever, say like the Cali Pro or whatever show has $10,000 for first. And they're pretty big names. Think of the gap between winning a $10,000 pro show, which is very impressive. It's an Olympia qualifier. It's a big deal to win a pro show. Not a lot of pros are ever able to win a pro show. It's a huge accomplishment. But think of the gap from winning a $10,000 check to $500,000. It's a really big deal what the Arnold is doing here. And I think that there is a little bit of a growing friendly feud or a friendly competition between the Arnold and the Olympia. Because I noticed on the Olympia Instagram page, I think this was kind of a dig. And this was posted after Arnold announced the $500,000 increase, by the way. This was kind of a dig, I think, at the Arnold Classic. The only thing they posted about the results of Men's Open was this post, a picture of Hadi Chupin with the medal, the Arnold Trophy, and it says, when a Mr. Olympia competes in an Olympia qualifier, they're talking about the Arnold Classic. He reminds us why he's a Mr. Olympia. Join us in congratulating Hadi Chupin on his win in Ohio. The stakes go up in October. So notice in that post, they don't even mention the name Arnold Classic. They refer to the Arnold Classic as just an Olympia qualifier that was won by Mr. Olympia champ, and they're saying the stakes go up when he competes at their show in October. I felt like this was kind of a dig towards the Arnold Classic, and you can see even that first comment right above Derek's. Imagine calling the Arnold a simple Olympia qualifier in Ohio. At least give credit where credit is due. Then they tag Arnold and Brian Powers. So honestly, I feel like this announcement probably did ruffle some feathers at the Olympia. And I think there's probably been this rivalry for a few years now. But I think this really was kind of a declaration of war by Arnold that is really putting the pressure on the Olympia to do something. Because I feel like at this point, Arnold has left them with no choice but to respond to at least one of the two. If you had the free Arnold live stream, it makes it really hard for the Olympia to say, okay, we're doing the $80 stream again. And if the Arnold is paying more than the Olympia, it makes it hard for the Olympia to say, okay, we're the most prestigious title in bodybuilding, but we pay less than another bodybuilding show. So I feel like they're going to have to budge on at least one of those two things. Arnold is kind of forcing their hand there. And I think that type of competition is not only going to benefit them, it's going to make the shows better, but it's going to benefit everybody. The athletes are going to get paid more. The fans are going to get a better experience. The fans might get a free live stream from both. And I think maybe the shows that are beneath them on a smaller level of promotion are going to see this, and maybe they're going to follow a similar business model, also do free live streams, also try to find a way to increase the prize money because they see that prize money could draw a more competitive lineup. In a more competitive lineup, bigger names means more people watching your live stream, and the more people tuning into your live stream, the more sponsors would be willing to pay to run a commercial on your live stream, and then the more viable it would be to do that stream for free. So I think this could trickle down to all the other bodybuilding shows, and everybody wins. And at the end of the day, that's what I really want to see happen. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Can the Arnold ever surpass the Olympia? Why or why not? And like and subscribe for more. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, click the bell notification icon, all that good stuff. And as always, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Nick Strength and Power, signing out. All right, guys, don't forget to click that like button and subscribe to this channel if you enjoy the content. Also, check out my Instagram at NickStrengthPower. My Facebook page, which is simply Nick Strength and Power. My secondary YouTube channel, Nick Strength and Vlogs, for vlogs and bonus content that you will not see on this channel. And consider subscribing to my third YouTube channel, Nick Strength and Pokemon, which is all things Pokemon and trading card games, completely unrelated to this channel. So if you're into that, give that one a look. And all links to merchandise and social media will be in the description box below. If you guys want a Nick Strength and Power t-shirt, that will be in the Shopify link below. Have a great day.